Hi guys, welcome back to the video. In this episode I'm going to show you a variation of the yellow owl CDC, which has fished so well for me in the last couple of years, and I just want to do a video so you guys can tie some as well, because I guarantee they'll go into your top 5 of dry flies. Very rarely let me down. I've had sessions where I've used about 4 different CDC variations, and the ones they were coming up for was the yellow owl type. This one's actually got a little red tag on it as well, which I think makes a big difference. I'm also tying it with white CDC feather rather than brown for this episode, because that's the one I've been using. It's just a lot easier to see in a heavy ripple, or if the water's shaded, than normal conventional brown CDC. You can still use them colours. Brown is not a problem because I know that is usually the go-to, but I found white, it stands out a lot easier, especially in shaded and rippled waters. You don't miss fish, whereas half time with brown, when you're scanning the water trying to find your fly and something's turned on it and it's way too late. So yeah, I'm just going to show you how to do this one with a white feather. You'll need a few ingredients. So in the vise, is a size 14 dry fly hook. This is from Reed River. You can get these online, but I really recommend using actual dry fly designated hooks because they're made a lot lighter, because you don't want your CDC sinking. You need it to be as light as possible and dressed as light as it can be as well. So I'm going to be using red UTC in 70. I find UTC is the best for small flies. It lies flat on the hook, doesn't slip, and yeah, the presentation with these dry flies is you need them to be as sleek, as thin profile as you can, not bulky. And this, I find this thread just really lies nicely on the hook. So I'm just gonna come in behind the eye, run down, top your excess. Once I cover that, I'm coming back up and I'm gonna put my CDC in now, and then this will allow me to create a tapered body down the fly. So you're gonna want to take about 4 to 5 feathers here. Make it as bulky as possible, because if a fish rises on your fly, it takes it end and you miss it, you want as much feathers to stay as dry as it can and buoyant, so you don't have to keep changing them or drying them manually. So what I've done is I've just got a few together and I've bunched them up so they're all even at the ends. You can trim them yourself after tying them on, but I just like sorting them out from the beginning. Keep them closed in together on your thumb and finger, index finger. I'm going to lie them on top, and ideally I want my shuttlecock to be about the same length as the shank, about there. So loosely over, just to get them in and come down, and then I'm just going to make sure those feathers are completely flat on top, not off the side, because you want it to sit perfectly on top. And I'm going to pull these back and I'm going to come under just to elevate them a bit, create that parachute effect like that. That looks good. So come down, and then from here I'm going to chop this excess off down the hook like that, and this should create a nice taper for me. So just touching turns here, down we come. Don't worry, go back on yourself if you miss something. There, so I've got that little taper in there. I'm going to come round just inside the curve, because I want this CDC to be looking like it's kicking. So by adding a curve in the pattern, you just get that little wiggle effect, essentially, that it's trying to wiggle out break free of the water, get its wings out and fly off. You can tie them straight, it's fine, stop at the curve, but I like just to come around a little bit. And if you've seen, like, I did about 3 layers over itself at the end here, just to build it up so that red does show out. Didn't want it too sparse. I want that blood red colour to be visible on this. So from this point, what we're going to use for the body is a synthetic Vineyard quill, which comes in a packet like this, synthetic yellow, and it's always on a paper, stapled on a paper like this. So you want to take the thinnest. From the left it starts thick, and then from the right it's thin. So you want to take the thinnest quill and just at the edge we're going to tie, loosely wrap around again just to get it in, and you want it towards you so when it's wrapping around it's neat. So I'm just bring that around towards me, and I'm not going to cut this because it'll create a little stump, so I'm going to tie it in as tight as I can because this stuff does fold under pressure. So the good thing is it doesn't make your fly too bulky. So I'm coming up just over that tapered head, and then we're going to do touch and turns down. The good thing about this synthetic quill is it's marked on the outside to create, you can see the little lines here, and it creates that segment for you, that buzzer body if you will. So instead of manually tying in 2 different materials and bringing them up, this one material does the job for you. So when you reach your thread, keep it tight, couple of turns just to get that in. From here I'm going to cut the excess, and then I'm going to tie that little tag in now. Make sure that's secure. On this video I'm not going to do it, but you could essentially put a little lick of varnish on this body now just to cement it in, but it is fine, it's tight. But you can, or you can put it under the on top of the initial thread, the base thread, and then this sticks on top. But just for the purpose of the video I'm just showing you how to tie it. But that's another couple of tips, either varnish underneath or a little bit of varnish on top, just to give it extra security on that body there. And to finish the fly, we're coming in with a hare's ear thorax, just dubbing. Nice little pinch. You could wax your thread from this point, but this takes the dubbing quite well, as you can see. And then you want it a little bit scruffy, emulate some legs or something going on there. Right, just going to come around a couple more times underneath. Thread's a bit long on the bobbin, takes them up, a couple of little turns like that. And then if you're going to be a perfectionist, I would have cut the red thread off before the dubbing. I would have knotted it off, varnished it, and continued probably a light brown or something, just so it blends in completely. But this is no issue, you can still just keep on with the red, but you might be able to see a little bit of red just behind the eye. But you can easily get rid of that if you've got a problem with it by using a brownie or an olive or something for the second half of this fly. CC in the way there. Or alternatively, I can just, a couple of knots, I can just bring this forward, cover that, And there you have it. A variation of a red tag yellow LCDC using the white feathers for so much more improved visibility in my opinion. I've had some lovely brownies on this on my local still water, numerous rainbow trout. So yeah, give this one a go guys. I assure you it'll definitely go into your top 5 CDCs. And I've got a couple of videos on my channel fishing with this fly, and you can see this fly in action. One little tip, make sure you tie a good 5 or 6 to them, because you will be running through them when the fish are on them. So yeah, I made that mistake. I've only tied about 3 and then I ran out. And when the fish are only honed in on these patterns, yeah, you'll be kicking yourself. Alright then, cheers guys, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want more. Winter's upon us now, so there'll be a lot more fly fishing videos coming back out. Just due to the summer, and obviously trout not doing well in the summer, especially at my fishery. So I've been on the bass for a few weeks, but it's cooling down now, and yeah, we'll be back on the trout before we know it. Okay then, thanks a lot for watching guys, see you next one, bye.